Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Our Magic. We are continuing our Pioneer series with Aether Revolt. Jake, fun fact, Aether Revolt was the current set when we started our Magic the Gathering YouTube channel.
I remember. Our very first video, I think we're talking about walking Ballista.
Oh yeah, and how cool the 7-Eleven that you can get a coffee at is.
Yes, that's right. Consulate Dreadnought. Yeah, and Strand Senior Edificer, and a whole bunch of memes that we started off with. I remember buying walking ballistas at $4 or $5 a card when everybody was calling it the bad hangerback walker.
That would have been a good price to buy those at.
And today we're not talking about walking ballista because it's a $20 card.
That's exactly right.
Before we can get into it, go down,
hit like, hit subscribe, click a button.
Only if you're logged in.
Yep, only if you're logged in. If you're not logged in, sit back and enjoy. If you are logged in, click a button, just any button. We'd appreciate you clicking a button. Let's get into the cards. What I want to say before we get fully into this is the caveat.
Give them the news.
Like we've said with every video in this entire series, these are sleeper picks. Now, a bunch of our sleeper picks have started going up in price because we are super smart, big brain gamers, and we know which cards are going to be dope. However, we're not picking the $20 cards, the $25, $30 cards in this series. We're trying to aim at cards that are 50 cents to like $4.99 and finding the cards that we think are going to go up. Jake, do you have anything else to say about that?
Yeah, just when you're watching this video, depending on when you watch it, some of these cards could have gone up, and that's just how this is going. Pioneer is hugely popular. It's showing it, like SCG changed their entire tournament structure because of Pioneer and how standard is right now. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's talk about Heart of Kiran. Let's talk about how good it is.
It is so good, especially when you've got 3-cost planeswalkers like Oko, like Teferi.
High loyalty walkers. Right. Yeah, cheap walkers.
It's so good. It was good in standard. It's better now in a format that has walkers that are just absolutely oppressive and can be played as soon as turn 2 if you've got mana dorks.
Right, exactly. And right now this card, I believe I did buy a couple play sets of it at 79 cents. This card is sitting at about a $2 price point right now, $2.49.
It hasn't yet spiked. I don't think this card has fully been built around yet, because everybody right now is building around Cat Combo, Nexus of Fate. These cards that are like Oko, obviously. It's right now the format is so new and no ban list that everybody's building around the superpower stuff. That's why we're making this series, because we think that once the ban lists come out and the format fully settles, these are the kind of cards that are going to pop up.
Yep, exactly.
Let's move on to the next card, which is Hope of Girper, a 1-drop, 1/1 flyer that can prevent combat damage.
Right, exactly. Versatility, efficiency, 1 mana,
I said that wrong. Not prevent combat damage, but it prevents spells from being cast. Not creature spells.
Yes, and it is a legendary artifact, which is worth noting.
Right.
But the thing is you want to see this in your opening hand. Right now we haven't really had any kind of affinity thing be discovered, but again, the format is in its infancy. So there's going to be people that are brewing spicy brews and a lot of decks that we don't even know exist that people are going to discover in the future, and this card is very, very cheap. I think it's like 50 cents to $1, if that. And so it's something to consider. It's something to have on your watch list.
The price of rares is notable in this set because this set, like Kaladesh, had chase, lottery tickets in it. And so it was opened super wide. And so, you're not going to see, I don't think, the cards from this set really spike to huge values because there are a ton of these copies out in the wild. But you do have cards like Paradox Engine as a mythic that are super build-arounds and very popular to, try and squeeze into a deck.
Yeah, exactly. And, this is a kind of card you play alongside Padim. in some sort of control kind of build. You're most likely going to have the artifact with the highest converted, so you're going to be drawing cards, which is velocity, and then also, this is an excellent EDH card as well, Commander staple.
I think it's banned in EDH.
Is it actually banned in EDH?
Hang on. We're going to pause for just a second so we can Google something we should have researched in advance.
Yes, I love these moments.
Hi, welcome back to Jake and Joel Are Magic. Paradox Engine is banned in Commander.
Scratch what I said about Commander, but here we're talking about Pioneer, and the card is really good, and I guess that's the reason it's only like $5 or $6 is because it isn't played in EDH.
Right.
But if it finds a home in Pioneer, that price is, I would project it to go up, and the card is really good, and it's worth tinkering around.
It really is. You want to talk about a really good card? Talk about a land that will tap for any. It's a city of brass as long as you have an artifact.
That's the best way to say it. And right now the card is $1.50.
I'm telling you.
Now, when you compare this to something like Mana Confluence, where Mana Confluence does the exact same thing, except Mana Confluence doesn't offer the alternative. So if you want to stay on line with Mana Confluence, and you want to stay on curve, you're taking a damage every single time that you tap. Every single time.
Exactly.
Spire of Industry offers that colorless mana.
Right. Yeah, I am a big fan of Spire of Industry. I don't know yet if this will take off because it does have that activate this ability only if you control an artifact.
Sure, and I completely get that, but in like, let's say a Mardu Vehicles takes off in Pioneer, or anything like based around like Oko or any one cost artifact.
Yeah.
Like Spire of Industry is online, and so it's like Mox Amber. I mean, like, come on, dude.
Right.
Like,
it's Jake. It's what I've said in other videos. The safe rares to buy into are the 50 cent to $1. They're not going to go any lower. Just flip them, sell them back for what you bought them for. Spire of Industry has only got up as its direction.
Dude, it is at the absolute floor right now, and in my opinion, in the right deck, it is better than Mana Confluence, which is like spiked to more than $20.
Exactly. Next up, Jake, what do you have to say about SRAM Senior Edificer? Hang on. I want to put a little backstory on this. Jake's favorite card, I think, since we've been making YouTube videos, has been SRAM Senior Edificer.
It's not even true.
He is so deep on this. Do you have your SRAMs here ready for this video? I bet you don't. I bet they're over there sitting on a shelf staring at you because you're bad. SRAM, I think Jake owns more copies of SRAM Senior Edificer than any human being alive. I think that SRAM, even doubling in price, is going to triple Jake's net worth as a human being.
Oh God! All right, give me a second because you built it up so much. Let me see if I can find these things in just a couple seconds.
Go get them, bye.
Oh, found them. Box of SRAMs. And I found my War of the Sparks text.
What the f was that?
I have a lot of stuff to clean up, but it's a small price to pay. I need a second.
Welcome back to Jake and Joel Are Magic. Here are Jake's SRAMs.
Yeah, it's actually a box called SRAMs. And so here's the thing. I'm just going to show these off really quick. These are all complete play sets. All right, so like
each individual sleeve is a 4-set.
Right.
And they're all foil, right?
No, they're not all foil.
Okay.
They're not all foil. But here, I will show you this. Now, these are all individual cards. These are all actually, hold on. Where are all the foils? I'm sorry, I cut my finger on one of these beads. Look, I have tons of these cards. I have tons of these. These are just all foil SRAMs. All foils. Those are all foils.
He's got SRAMs. SRAM is good. SRAM has a lot of promise. SRAM does draw cards as a bear. He is awesome. Jake, have you got anything left to say about SRAM? Well,
so the reason that I bought all of these SRAM Senior Edificers, and the reason that I have this deep collection, is because there's a deck called Cheerios. It's a fun, casual deck. I mean, honestly, it does play Mox Opals, so I don't know how casual it is, but it's a modern deck, and SRAM plays alongside Pure Steel Paladin in a storm-like strategy where you use zero-cost artifacts. So, SRAM Senior Edificer, there's a lot of vehicles, there's a lot of auras, there's a lot of different ways that you can enable it in Pioneer, and that's the reason it's on this list. Is just it might be one of these cards where it takes off. I mean, it's absolutely a lightning rod, but velocity is a big thing.
I will say that it's been getting a lot of hype. How about a card that has always gotten a lot of hype as soon as it was announced? Fatal Push.
Yeah, dude, Fatal Push. I mean, it's just format staple. It's know, legacy, modern.
What can you say?
Absolutely Pioneer.
When I added it to this list, it was less than $5. I don't know if it's less than $5 at the time that you're watching this now, but the card is always going to be a staple. It's always going to be in Pioneer. It's always going to be, I think, in Modern. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I mean, Fatal Push being on this list is like, of course.
Now, well, yeah, but the thing about it where it will lose a little bit of potency in Pioneer is because of the Revolt. Because in Modern and Legacy, you have fetch lands, so it's very easy to enable the 4 converted on it.
Yep.
So that is the only thing that I think could hold it back. But we do have Fabled Passage. We have other ways of getting Revolt online. So I don't think it's going to be.
It's an interesting time to me to pick up this card because are they never ever going to print fetch lands again? That's just what they're saying by banning the fetch lands that were in Pioneer, and that is the goal here. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they banned the fetch lands because they knew that after the format announcement, it was going to be a mad dash to see who could acquire them all.
Of course,
it would have been awful for everybody. They would have all raced to be as expensive as all of the enemy fetch lands, which people constantly complain about in Modern, and it would be the #1 complaint. So they were right to ban them.
Absolutely. Next up is Kari Zev, Skyship Raider. This card was a staple when it was in Standard. It was a absolute house in the mono red deck that took down many a tournament, and I would think that it would still hold potency in Pioneer.
I love First Strike. I love Menace. I love a 1/3 for 2. I love what it does when it attacks. The card is excellent. The only thing, holding it back is it's legendary. You don't want 2 of them. But if it gets answered, being able to present that big threat again is worth noting.
Yeah, that's exactly right. After that, we got Hidden Stockpile. I'll tell you, I run this in my black-white EDH deck. I saw this deck running around like crazy when it was in Standard. With some, it was a more under the radar Standard deck, but this is a card that I really love.
And the reason Hidden Stockpile is on this list is because it's a great enabler. Yeah. It's 1 to sacrifice a creature, discard 1, and it has Revolt, so it pretty much replaces itself. If you sacrifice the 1/1 that it creates, you're sacking, discard 1, you're creating another 1/1. So it within itself is kind of like a pseudo infinite loop. It's really, really good, and I think if you're going to acquire it, I would acquire the foils.
Right.
But at 2 mana, this is a really, really nice engine.
What I was going to say is that this is an uncommon, obviously, and it is the foil here that I think that you, from a finance perspective, should target, because the non-foils will probably not go up that much, like Winding Constrictor, also an uncommon. I think that this is a card where you want to target the foils from a finance perspective.
Yep.
But, I mean, when this card was in Standard, this card was wrecking house.
Yes, and it was played in I believe it was a Sultai Energy or some kind of energy deck alongside Bristling Hydra and other things, and Walking Ballista. This card plays so well with anything that deals with counters, and so it's one of those cards to keep on your radar. The foils are very reasonably priced, and if a deck comes out that wants this card, which green-black, the colors green-black and Pioneer are really, really good.
And counters, green-black and counters.
And it's a 2/3 for 2,
right.
So it's got a nice butt coming with its casting cost. It has a hell of an ability, so it's one of those cards that you might want to look out for as far as foils go. If you're a pimp my deck kind of person, that's the kind of thing to think about.
You're absolutely right, and that takes us back around to Heart of Kieran and to the end of our Aether Revolt list. Jake, this one has been fun. If you did like the video, hit like, hit subscribe. If you want to support us further, we've got a Patreon. The link is in the description below. Don't forget, we are streaming on Twitch 2 times a week, Tuesday and Thursday nights. I'm tapped out. Jake, you got anything else?
I gotta clean up the rest of these beads that spilled all over the place because for some reason there are beads in my house.
But you found the SRAMs, and that's all that matters. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you later.